Welcome to English Practice Hub. In this video, you're not just going to listen to English, you're going to live it. While improving your listening skills, you'll also discover the timeless wisdom of one of the most talked about books in the world, The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. This book is not just about politics or manipulation. It's about understanding human nature, recognizing power dynamics, and learning how influence really works in every part of life, from your career to your relationships. Throughout this summary, we'll explore each group of laws, from how to make people respect you, to how to protect yourself from betrayal, to how to rise in any social or professional hierarchy. Each chapter will bring you real stories from history, from kings and generals to artists and thinkers, all showing how power is gained, maintained, or lost. Remember, this isn't about becoming ruthless. It's about becoming aware. Power surrounds you every day, in conversations, workplaces, friendships, and even love. Understanding it doesn't make you cold, it makes you strategic. So, sit back, listen carefully, and let's dive into the 48 Laws of Power, one of the most eye-opening guides to the psychology of success ever written. Before we explore the laws, let's understand the world Robert Greene describes. He says life is a constant game of power. Whether you like it or not, people are always observing, competing, and influencing each other. Some do it quietly, some do it openly, but everyone is playing. Power, Greene explains, is not evil by itself. It's neutral. Like fire, it can warm or destroy depending on how you use it. The wise learn to master it. The careless become victims of it. Let's start with the first 4 laws, the foundation of this game. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Always make those above you feel superior. If you make them feel insecure or overshadowed, they'll secretly want to destroy you. History is full of examples, like Nicolas Fouquet, the French finance minister who tried to impress King Louis XIV with his wealth and charm. Instead of admiration, he earned jealousy. The king imprisoned him for life. The lesson? Make your superiors feel smarter, brighter, and more talented than you. Let them shine, even if you're the real star. True power is subtle. It hides in humility. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friends can betray you faster than enemies because they act on emotion, not reason. They envy your success and might feel entitled to what you have. Enemies, on the other hand, must prove their loyalty because they have something to lose. Many powerful figures, from ancient rulers to modern CEOs, kept their enemies close and gave them responsibilities. Why? Because enemies work harder to prove their value. The lesson? Don't let emotions blind your judgment. Loyalty should be earned, not assumed. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. Keep people guessing. The more others know about your plans, the easier it is for them to interfere or compete with you. Greene teaches that mystery creates respect and control. For example, Otto von Bismarck, the German statesman, always kept his strategies secret, even from his allies. They could never predict his next move, and that unpredictability became his greatest weapon. So, next time you're working on something important, be silent. Let results speak before words do. Mystery multiplies power. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Words can expose your weaknesses. When you talk too much, you lose control over your image. Powerful people speak less, not because they are shy, but because silence forces others to fill the gaps with imagination. Think of leaders like Napoleon Bonaparte, brief, sharp, and confident in speech. His silence created authority. His words carried weight because they were rare. Silence is a magnet for respect. The fewer words you use, the more powerful you appear. These first 4 laws share a simple truth. Power is not about domination, it's about perception. People are drawn to confidence, mystery, and restraint. To master the game of power, You must learn when to speak, when to hide, and when to let others feel in control, even if you are the one truly leading. Next, we'll explore how to protect your reputation, use absence to increase respect, and turn weakness into strength. That's where the art of subtle influence truly begins. In the world of power, reputation is everything. It's invisible, yet it opens doors, earns trust, and protects you from attack. Lose it, and you lose your influence. Protect it, and people will respect and fear you without you saying a word. Let's explore the next 5 laws that reveal how power lives in reputation, attention, and timing. Law 5, so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Reputation is the foundation of power. It's what people believe about you, even when you're not there. Once it's damaged, no amount of words can repair it easily. Greene reminds us of historical figures like Cesare Borgia, who built a reputation for fear and discipline. His enemies respected him because they knew his word carried consequences. He rarely needed to fight. His name fought for him. Protect your reputation like your most valuable weapon. Avoid unnecessary fights, and when someone tries to attack it, destroy the threat completely. Reputation gives you invisible armor. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. If people don't notice you, you don't exist. In the age of noise and distraction, being silent or ordinary is the same as being invisible. But Greene warns, this doesn't mean being loud or desperate. It means standing out strategically. Use creativity, boldness, and surprise to keep people watching. Think of how artists like Andy Warhol or political leaders used attention like oxygen, constantly reinventing themselves to stay relevant. Visibility is power, but never let attention turn into overexposure. Be interesting, not predictable. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. This one sounds cruel, but it's reality. Throughout history, great leaders, inventors, and conquerors mastered the art of delegation. They used the talents of others, directed them wisely, and positioned themselves as the face of success. Greene isn't saying to exploit people. He's saying to think like a strategist, not a laborer. Use the skills, energy, and ideas of others to amplify your vision. And when credit is given, make sure your name is the one remembered. It's not unfair, it's efficient, because power rewards results, not effort. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. Chasing people or opportunities makes you appear weak. Instead, make yourself the center of gravity, someone others must come to. This law is about psychological magnetism. Control comes from making others move first. Use patience, attraction, and strategy, not pressure. For example, in negotiations, the one who waits usually wins. In relationships, the one who is less desperate has more control. Pull, don't push. The person who acts calm and distant appears in control, and therefore, powerful. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Words rarely change minds. Arguments make enemies, not believers. Instead of trying to convince people, show them results. When people see something, they believe it. When they hear it, they doubt it. Greene says, let success speak for you. Whether in work, friendship, or love, silence backed by action wins more respect than hours of explanation. So do more, talk less. Power grows from what you demonstrate, not what you declare. In these 5 laws, the message is clear. The powerful don't rush. They observe, position, and let others move around them. They understand reputation is armor, attention is currency, and timing is the weapon. To master power, you must learn to act deliberately and speak sparingly, because once your presence commands attention, words become unnecessary. Next, we'll step into the darker but deeper side of influence. how to protect your independence, control your emotions, and turn enemies into tools of growth. Power is like a chess game. Every move has consequences, and emotions are the enemy of strategy. Robert Greene reminds us that power doesn't belong to the strongest, it belongs to the most controlled. Let's dive into laws 10 to 16, lessons about emotional discipline, independence, and influence. Law 10, infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Emotions are contagious. Spend too much time around negativity, and you'll slowly absorb it. Some people carry chaos wherever they go, not by intention, but by nature. Greene calls them emotional vampires. The wise protect their energy. Surround yourself with optimistic, ambitious, and stable people. When you sense someone constantly brings drama or bad luck, distance is protection. Power requires clarity, not noise. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. It sounds cold, but dependence is control. The more people rely on your skills, ideas, or resources, the less they can harm you. In history, kings kept advisors who couldn't succeed without royal favor. Employers keep specialists they can't replace. Your goal is to make yourself indispensable. Be the person who knows what others don't. Be valuable, but never replaceable. That's how loyalty turns into leverage. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Greene says honesty is powerful only when it's rare. One sincere act can cover 100 manipulations. For example, a small gesture of kindness or truth builds trust fast. People lower their guard. Then, when you need to act strategically, they won't expect it. This doesn't mean deception. It means timing your honesty for maximum effect. Be real, but be smart about when and why. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to self-interest, not mercy or gratitude. No one helps you just because they like you. They help when it benefits them. If you appeal to pity, you look weak. But if you show how helping you helps them, you create alignment, not obligation. Example. Instead of saying, please support me, say, if we work together, we'll both gain visibility and influence. Greene's point is simple. Make others see your success as their advantage. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. To control situations, you need information. The powerful don't assume, they observe. Act friendly, ask questions, and let people talk. The more they reveal, the more control you gain. Greene warns, secrets are the currency of influence. This doesn't mean being deceitful. It means being curious and strategic. Know what motivates others before you act. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. Mercy is noble, but in the game of power, half measures create revenge. When you face a real enemy, someone who threatens your future, you must finish the conflict completely. Greene gives historical examples like Rome's destruction of Carthage. If you leave your rival breathing, they'll rebuild and return stronger. But remember, this law is not about cruelty. It's about decisiveness. Don't fight often, but when you must, end it cleanly, without hesitation. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Familiarity breeds contempt. If you're always around, people take you for granted. When you step back, your value rises. Powerful people understand the rhythm of presence and absence. They appear rarely, but memorably. Their silence creates curiosity. Their return creates excitement. When you withdraw at the right time, people notice your absence more than your presence. That's control through contrast. In these 7 laws, Greene teaches a key idea. Power is not about constant motion. It's about strategic restraint. The powerful don't react. They design their image, control their space, and never waste emotion on things beneath them. Next up, we'll enter one of the most psychological parts of the book: how to use attention, unpredictability, and selective truth to stay in control. That's where manipulation turns into mastery. At this stage, Robert Greene starts to reveal the deeper mechanics of human psychology, how to influence, confuse, and captivate others without appearing to try. Power is not always visible. The strongest move is often the one that looks accidental. These 7 laws teach you how to create that illusion of effortless control. Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictability is weakness. When people can guess what you'll do next, they stop fearing you. Greene says, keep them off balance. Act unpredictably. Uncertainty makes others cautious. They'll hesitate before crossing you because they can't read your next move. The lesson is not chaos. It's controlled unpredictability. Surprise people occasionally. Change your rhythm. When you're mysterious, you're powerful. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. When you isolate yourself, you lose information, perspective, and influence. Greene warns that solitude makes you an easy target. You stop seeing the shifting tides of power around you. Stay connected. Keep ears open and eyes everywhere. Even if you prefer privacy, never lose touch with reality. Power depends on awareness. Walls protect you from danger, but they also block opportunity. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Don't offend the wrong person. Not all people react the same way. Some forgive, some plot revenge forever. Greene says understanding personalities is essential. It's your shield against unnecessary conflict. Before confronting or challenging someone, learn what drives them: pride, insecurity, fear, or ambition. One insult to the wrong person can ruin your future. Tailor your behavior to their psychology. Power isn't about dominance. It's about reading people like open books. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Commitment ties you down. The powerful stay independent, emotionally, politically, and strategically. Greene says, keep your options open and never reveal full loyalty. This doesn't mean being cold. It means being free. When you're not tied to one side, everyone wants your favor. They'll court you, respect you, and compete for your attention. Independence creates value. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Acting too smart threatens others. Sometimes, the path to power is pretending to be harmless. People drop their guard when they think they're smarter than you. Greene advises, let them underestimate you. It gives you time to strike strategically. The best traps are the ones people walk into willingly. Remember, appearing weak can be your strongest disguise. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you're losing, stop fighting. Retreat gracefully. Greene says surrender is not defeat, it's strategy. By yielding, you gain time to rebuild. You confuse your enemies. They relax, thinking they've won, until you return stronger. Think of it as psychological judo. Use their momentum against them. Power isn't about constant attack. It's about knowing when to yield. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Focus beats chaos. The powerful don't spread their energy thin. They direct it like a laser. Greene says, pick one goal, one skill, or one battlefield, and dominate it. Dilution kills progress. Concentration multiplies it. This law applies to business, art, relationships, and war alike. Where focus goes, power grows. In these laws, Greene makes one truth clear. Power isn't brute strength, it's psychological precision. It's knowing when to act, when to withdraw, when to speak, and when to appear silent or foolish. Each move should serve your long game. Because in the end, the one who controls perception controls reality. Next, we'll move into the midpoint of the book, where the laws shift from survival to dominance. How to master timing, build fear, and stay untouchable at the top. By now, the game of power is no longer about defense. It's about mastery. These laws are about becoming the person others revolve around, the center of influence, confidence, and control. Robert Greene now focuses on the skills that separate amateurs from true strategists: timing, composure, and persuasion. Let's explore laws 24 to 30. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. In every era, power flows around those who can charm, flatter, and influence the powerful without offending them. Greene calls this the art of courtship, not romance, but diplomacy. The perfect courtier knows when to speak and when to stay silent. They never brag, never complain, and never appear desperate. They master the soft skills: grace, humor, tact, and subtle praise. This law teaches emotional intelligence. Be diplomatic, not dramatic. When you make people feel important, they'll open doors you could never force open yourself. Law 25. Recreate yourself. Don't accept the identity others give you. Create your own image, the one that serves your ambition. Greene says, powerful people are actors on the stage of life. They choose their roles consciously. Maybe people once saw you as weak or shy. Fine. Reinvent yourself. Adopt new habits, a new voice, a new rhythm. Change is power, because it keeps people guessing who you'll become next. You're not trapped in your past. You're the author of your image. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Appear pure, even when your actions aren't. Greene's point is simple. Let others do the dirty work, while you keep your image spotless. Leaders throughout history used intermediaries to carry out unpleasant tasks: firings, punishments, or manipulation. They stayed the hero, while someone else took the blame. It's not hypocrisy, it's survival. Perception matters more than truth. Stay above the mess, and your influence will stay intact. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. Humans crave meaning. They want to believe in something bigger, a vision, a movement, a leader. Greene shows how charismatic figures, from religious leaders to business icons, use belief to build loyalty that logic can't break. To do this, offer hope, certainty, and emotion. Be consistent. Speak with conviction. People don't follow perfection, they follow confidence. But be careful. Belief is power, and power can become dangerous when you start believing your own myth. Law 28. Interaction with boldness. Hesitation kills influence. When you act decisively. Boldness shocks, inspires, and intimidates. Even when you're uncertain, moving with confidence creates its own momentum. People mistake courage for certainty, and they follow the bold. In contrast, timid moves invite attack. Greene says, if you're going to act, go all in. Half measures are worse than no measures. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Never act without a clear finish line in mind. Powerful people think 10 moves ahead. They visualize every outcome, every risk, every reaction, and then move with precision. Impulsiveness might win a battle, but only planning wins the war. Greene advises, start with the end in mind, then walk backward step by step until you know what to do today. Vision turns action into strategy. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. Power loses its magic when people see how hard you try. The greats, from Leonardo da Vinci to modern leaders, made mastery look natural. Greene says, conceal your struggle. Let results appear smooth, inevitable, and graceful. People admire ease, not effort. Behind the scenes, work like a machine. In public, glide like a swan. Effortlessness inspires awe. These 7 laws define how to move like power itself. Calm, patient, confident, and always in control. You don't just win, you make it look like you were destined to. Power at this level isn't about visible strength, it's about invisible control. Robert Greene now dives into the human mind, how people desire, react, and rationalize. If you understand desire, you can lead anyone, anywhere, without force. These 8 laws are about influence through psychology, the art of making others move in your direction willingly. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Power means control, and true control is when people think they have a choice, but every path leads back to you. Greene says, frame situations so that no matter what others choose, you benefit. Like a chess player who sets traps 5 moves ahead, you give the illusion of freedom while shaping the outcome. Example: a king offers mercy or execution. Mercy brings loyalty. Execution brings fear. Either way, he wins. The secret: give limited freedom that still keeps you in charge. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Reality is boring. People crave stories, dreams, and emotions. The powerful feed those fantasies. Greene says, never confront people with harsh truths. Instead, wrap truth in beauty, in hope, in vision. Make them feel something beyond logic. That's why great leaders and artists rise. They speak to desire, not reason. Feed the dream, and people will follow. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness. It might be pride, fear, vanity, love, or guilt, but it exists. Greene says your job is to find it. Listen carefully. Watch reactions. Once you know what drives someone, you can predict, even control, their behavior. It's not manipulation. It's insight. The more you understand people, the more influence you gain, quietly, effortlessly. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. People treat you how you treat yourself. If you act with dignity, confidence, and purpose, the world mirrors it back. Greene's point: never beg for respect. Carry yourself like you already deserve it. Move slowly, speak calmly, dress intentionally. Royalty isn't about title, it's about energy. And when your presence commands respect, opportunities follow naturally. Law 35. Master the art of timing. Timing is what separates good from great. Even the right action at the wrong moment fails. Greene says, power is rhythm. Wait, watch, and move only when the time is ripe. Don't rush success. Create anticipation. In battles, business, or love, the one who controls when things happen controls how they end. Impatience kills power. Patience builds it. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Wanting something too much gives it power over you. When you ignore what you can't have, you steal its importance. Greene's message: indifference is strength. The more you chase, the weaker you look. The more you detach, the more magnetism you gain. Don't react to insults, envy, or rejection. Silence burns deeper than any defense. What you ignore fades. What you fight grows. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. People are visual. They remember what they see, not what they hear. So, make your presence unforgettable. Greene says, use theater, symbolism, and drama. In leadership, marketing, or love, presentation is persuasion. A well-timed gesture can speak louder than 1,000 words. Show, don't tell. Make people feel your message, not just hear it. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Blend in to survive. Stand out to succeed, but do it carefully. If you act too different too soon, people resist. Greene warns, the powerful hide rebellion behind conformity. Think freely, but follow the rules until it's safe to break them. Appear normal, act strategic. The smartest players in history never shouted their genius. They moved quietly within the system until they owned it. These 8 laws are about emotional control and perception. Not domination, but direction. Powerful people don't push, they pull. They design environments where everyone naturally acts in their favor. It's no longer about surviving the game. It's about writing the rules. We've reached the final stage, where power stops being a game and becomes an art form. Robert Greene now reveals the ultimate truths: how to rise above conflict, remain untouchable, and leave a legacy that outlives your name. At this level, power isn't loud. It's quiet, unshakable, and eternal. Let's break down the last 10 laws. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish. When people are emotional, they make mistakes. Greene says, if you can't control your enemies, unbalance them. Anger clouds judgment. Stay calm while others lose control, and you'll always have the advantage. The powerful don't react, they provoke. Control the tone of the room, and you control the outcome. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Nothing is truly free. Every gift carries a hidden hook: debt, expectation, or control. Greene teaches, always pay your own way. Dependence is weakness. Generosity is power only when you're the giver, not the receiver. When you refuse free favors, you keep your freedom. The powerful buy independence, not comfort. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Never follow directly in the footsteps of someone legendary. Comparison kills innovation. Forge your own identity. Instead of imitating greatness, reinterpret it. Make your mark so distinct that you stop being the next someone and become the first you. History remembers originality, not repetition. Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. In any group, one person holds the true influence, the shepherd. When you face resistance, identify and neutralize that leader. Once they're removed, chaos follows, and the rest will fall in line. It's not about cruelty, it's about efficiency. Attack the source, not the symptoms. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Force creates rebellion. Persuasion creates loyalty. The powerful don't command, they inspire. They speak to people's emotions, values, and hopes. Greene says, lead hearts, not hands. Convince others they want what you want, and they'll follow willingly. The greatest power feels like love. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. When you mirror people, their tone, behavior, or arguments, they lose power. They see themselves, and it unsettles them. The mirror exposes truth without confrontation. It's one of the most elegant psychological weapons. Reflect others, and they'll reveal themselves. Silence and reflection break egos faster than attack. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. People want progress, but not chaos. If you change things too quickly, they panic. Greene's advice: introduce change gradually, so it feels safe. Give people the illusion of continuity while you reshape everything beneath the surface. Revolution is power, but controlled revolution is mastery. Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Perfection breeds envy. When you seem flawless, people secretly wish to see you fall. Greene says, leave room for small flaws. They make you human, relatable, and safe to admire. Show confidence, but sprinkle humility. Too much light blinds. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Success can be dangerous. The moment you win, ego whispers, go further. That's when people overreach and lose everything. Greene warns, power is like fire, useful when contained, deadly when uncontrolled. When you've achieved your goal, stop. Restraint is the final mark of strength. Law 48. Assume formlessness. This is the final and most spiritual law. Greene says, power has no fixed shape. When you define yourself too clearly, Enemies can predict and destroy you. Instead, be fluid, adapt like water. Change your style, your tone, your strategies as needed. Formlessness cannot be attacked. The ultimate power is adaptability. In these last laws, Greene transforms power from a strategy into a philosophy. You learn that real dominance is calm, silent, and free of fear. The goal is not to control others. It's to master yourself so deeply that no one can control you. Power, at its purest, is awareness, knowing what to say, what to withhold, and when to walk away. Studio microphone final words. And that's the 48 Laws of Power, a timeless guide to human behavior, ambition, and influence. Use these lessons not to manipulate, but to understand. Power is not about taking. It's about becoming unshakably self-aware. Thank you for listening to English Practice Hub. If you enjoyed this summary, stay tuned. More book breakdowns are coming soon to sharpen your mind and your English.